Right over here is Madeira Field. This is where they're going to be hosting the biggest Portuguese festival outside of Portugal, the biggest Portuguese festival in the world. So we're very excited to be here. And the club S.S. Sacramento is the club that is responsible for putting this field on, this festa on, right? Over there is the clubhouse. The feast president is doing his rounds. You'll get to hear from him soon. And yeah, it's buzzing. So let's get right into what is the Club S.S. Sacramento.
Get ready for the biggest Portuguese feast in the world. The Feast of the Blessed Sacrament in New Bedford, Massachusetts. A Madeiran heritage festival filled with traditional music, authentic food, Madeiran folklore, and a proud community.
Hello.
How you doing? They're over there at the church.
They're at the church?
Just follow the poles.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what's your name?
Joe, yeah.
Joe?
Joe.
Joe, another Joe.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call everyone Joe. We've just arrived at the grounds and said hello to everybody. So we're gonna be here for a couple of days. We arrived about a week early. Officially starts, the feast starts next weekend, but we're preparing already. And I believe the folklore group of Kamash has just arrived. So we're gonna go and see them and say hi and see what's going on. Let's go, we're all excited. Here's the man, the legend.
Hey! welcome. I didn't see you guys.
Yeah.
I thought I saw your
Yeah.
cousin, but then I didn't. I didn't know if it was her. Welcome.
My cousin, yes.
Yeah, I thought I saw
She
her.
drove us out, yeah.
So this year I am the president of the 2024 feast.
And what do you do?
So what do I do here at the feast? It's pretty much just making sure everybody stays on track and on schedule. I was elected back in September. We've been having meetings every month. We've been having a committee meeting, but we've been here pretty much every Monday and Tuesday since. I really didn't want to serve without the bailing being danced on the field. Our folklore group after COVID is still trying to get people to join and to get back to performing again. They were not ready this year. So my thoughts, not only because they are pretty much the most well-known folklore group, I would say, out of Madeira, but also to kind of bring that energy in which they have. They've been here since last Friday. They've been down here. They've been making it great for everybody. Before they get here, everybody's kind of like grumpy and working and mad at each other. And then they get here and they've really helped make the work a little lighter.
My name is Timothy Rodrigues. I am president of Clube Madeirense S.S. Sacramento Incorporated, and welcome. So the club is not as old as the feast. The club actually became an organized club in 1953, even though our feast has been around since 1915. So in 1953, we finally organized the club so we could protect the feast. This club sole purpose is to put on the Feast of the Blessed Sacrament. And from that, we have grown, and we have done other events, but our main purpose is to promote the Madeiran culture. Actually, in our charter, it says that it doesn't even call it it calls it the Madeiran colony of the United States. Because it was written back a long time ago. And we're here to help the community, promote Madeiran heritage, and give back to charity.
Our motto is God help us to help others. And that's what we live by. And what I mean with that, with the community, we've expanded our scholarships. We're over the $2 million mark in scholarships that we give out. And we started a one-of-a-kind vocational awards for those students not attending a college, but entering a trade like an electrician, a beautician, a plumber, which I think is fantastic. Then we feed multiple families at Thanksgiving, multiple families at Christmas time, help over I think last year was like 80 different charities. And what I'm most proud of too is that we contribute and visit the orphanages of Madeira and help the children of Madeira.
We give 1-year scholarships to students. I would love to give a 4-year scholarship and help students all 4 years, not just 1 year out of college, because we know how expensive college is, especially in America. I would love to give more back during the holidays with Christmas and have more children come here and have a wonderful meal and a toy to bring home. God help us so we can help others. And that's exactly what we do. And I want to do more of that.
Right next to the feast grounds is the Museum of Madeiran Heritage, and this place is a true gem.
I'm the corresponding secretary for the museum, and I started like 25 years ago when it first opened up. Joe Souza, the founder, curator, he asked me to help him with the obituaries, and I've been here ever since. Ișteit Cumberlubș, my father, and my mother's Cumberlubș. Got a chic, yes. The Figuera family in the Ișteit. Well, Joe Souza, he brought in pictures, all these pictures and books and genealogy, and we do it for just the members of the club, not for the outside. We trace their Madeiran heritage, and I use the archives of Madeira, Tumbo, Travessa, and there was a newspaper called Diário de Notícias in New Bedford, and from 1917 to the 70s, and they digitized it. So you can go in and put someone's name, and every time their name appeared in the paper, whether it's obituary or anything, wedding, you can print up the newspaper. The Feast of the Blessed Sacrament, you can print up every article that was written on the feast. So it's really, really interesting.
I'm very fortunate. I'm the chairman of the great Museum of Madeiran Heritage, board of director, and with my buddy John, we take care of we call them presenters, but corporate sponsors and all the public relations. The favorite part of the museum is what I don't know. And let me explain about that. So my friend John will say that, it's like a rummage sale of all the Portuguese Madeiran descendants that have passed away and families have donated. But what's great about the museum is every time I walk through the museum, and I have been through a lot, I see something new.
Some of the festeiros come in and they don't know the village where their family was from. So we research it and we do family trees for them, yeah. And they go to Madeira and they go to your village, go to your parents' village, grandparents, go to the church, walk where they used to walk, we tell them, yeah.
And the goal is that as we modernize our website, that you will actually have a virtual museum. So those people in Madeira, in the Azores, in Canada, or California will actually be able to walk through the museum and experience the museum as if they were here. That's the goal.
We're getting ready for the festa, and as you can see, I've got my, I don't even know what the name is. Carapuça. Carapuça. Well, you're learning something every day. And I heard, the story that I heard is that this was to put your wedding ring in here, all right, while you were working. But now maybe it's a different hat, because maybe there's another hat that's also like this. Huh? I don't know.
Yeah, that's
so there's another smaller one, isn't there?
Yeah.
So maybe I'm getting my hats confused, because no one seems to have heard the story. I'm the only one who hears the story. So I don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. Huh? We're getting ready for the biggest festa in the world. Huh? Besides San Vicente.
I think this is bigger.
This is bigger, right? Yeah.
A festeiro is a very lucky person who has Madeiran heritage. I really believe that, because to be able to do this, as much work as it is really a great inheritance to me, and I know to my family as well. I grew up in a very Portuguese environment. Amalia stayed at our house when I was a kid. Max from Madeira stayed at our house when I was a kid. So we were very involved in that environment.
Who was your mother?
Maria Alves. She was the first American-born fadista. She was born here in Massachusetts, but was the first person to sing publicly the fathers, because in those days, fadistas were not coming to the United States on tour. Madeira wasn't even born, and people just didn't come.
I was born right after my mother and sisters came over. So we spoke Portuguese at home. Everything was very Portuguese at home. We didn't really start speaking English till we got to school, to be honest. So Portuguese is just something that's always been around us, the language, the food, the culture, outside of the feast, at home as well. The babysitter that we had upstairs was from St. Michael, only strictly spoke Portuguese. So I would say that's where we learned our Portuguese mostly from. So that's why when I go to Portugal, to Madeira and I start speaking, I have like an Azorian accent, but that's because there's lots of Azorian influencers around us as well, and influences on the feast with some of the foods we have. So it's just, there's Madeirans around us, there's people from the Azores around us, there's people from the continent around us. That means they're done with the meat frite, so that's the excitement back there.
I grew up right here, literally, no joke, on these feast grounds. My house that I grew up in is no longer here. It's now the grapevines down there, the latada that we have down there. So as a little kid, I've been here my whole life. My grandfather was part of it, my avu was part of it, my father was part of it, I'm part of it, my children are part of it. It's a family tradition.
Well, Christmas time, the nativity, that nativity thing, my mother would do that and make kanja the night before Christmas. And the hunch would come door to door. So you had to be prepared. She had a table full of food for the cake and drinks for the hunch when they came at Christmas time. You had to wear nice pajamas in case the hunch came, decorating the tree. Canspit, my father would always make canspit, Portuguese food, favas, everything, yeah.
This club is phenomenally growing. We have, unlike a lot of other, social clubs in the country, we have many members under 40 years old. I'm sure you've seen that here. That doesn't happen in some other organizations. They sort of age out. But we're really, really fortunate.
So we have 350 members as of now. To be a member, you have to have some sort of connection to the island of Madeira. So through your family, you're either born in Madeira or family members are from Madeira.
If you're in the Madeiran family or in the feast family, you get nominated when you're 17, 18. You're put right into the committee. You can already hold offices if you want, and we have monthly meetings, like I said, and you can be the chair of a committee. And then once you finish your year of service and the feast is over, then you're able to join the committee, the actual club. That's the one requirement to becoming a full member, as you serve as if stayed once. I mean, you can expect lots of fun. We try to make it as fun as possible because this is all volunteer. So we have to try to make it as fun for people to come down here on their extra time as possible. Lots of people do it for different reasons, for in memory of family. A lot of people grew up on the field, and we just feel like this is our home. And every August we get to invite people from all over, not only the United States, but this year we have people from Madeira. We have youth guys from Madeira, and we're just always happy to show them what we have here.
So many members of our club are third and fourth and maybe getting to fifth generation. We don't all speak Portuguese very well at all, as you probably have noticed, but we all know the food and we all have wonderful memories of our family. And I think young people in the States, even of other cultures, in fourth and fifth generations, are searching and longing for a connection to where they came from.
My favorite thing personally for me is that I feel like my family's with me. I feel like, and I know, and I hope they're proud of what we've all accomplished. And so throughout the year I miss them, and then when the feast comes, I feel like they're here. But that's personal.